Here you have written, and the diesel grenadiers overran the last stronghold of the Hellfire Order, defeating Elder Storm and ending the Third Magotech War.
One might be deceived by the apparent weightlessness of this platform, which suggests mobility. But closer scrutiny reveals that it is in fact a section of an airship's deck, fashioned from fortified steel, a load that even the giants could not budge. There's a strong flow of steam blocking the way. Maybe this inconspicuous red valve can fix the issue.
Without their commander or magical powers, those who remained had no choice but to surrender. That is how Tech did it. stretched beyond an impenetrable barrier. Now everyone may enjoy a just and untroubled road, free from magical rulers and their spells.
At first glance, it seems to be a passageway, but upon closer examination, you see that the entire framework is leaning heavily against the rock. A single misstep could lead to the collapse of multiple structures, along with tons of raw stone. Best try and find a safer route.
But not every magic user was ready to accept defeat. In the desolated old world, repellent beasts and mages claiming to be weavers continued to fight amongst themselves. Some were even bold enough to launch raids against technologist outposts.
The vehicle's brakes are completely seized. Otherwise, it would have rolled on and crashed long ago. The ignition key is conspicuously absent. You must either search for the key or attempt to resolve the brake problem.
technologists was the source of that. Forming into hideous, decaying iron statues of themselves. The war didn't take place on our soil, but the aftermath reached us nonetheless. Previously unseen magical creatures began harrying our village time and again. The nearest technologist outpost, the fire shrapnel, extorted taxes from us in exchange for protection, but did nothing to actually protect us. What an elaborate account. But tell me, why are you not content with existing literature on this subject? Curious. But let us move on. Many of these entries are needlessly provocative. For example, every day I witness yet another family selling everything they own to move to this incredible new world. The newspapers never stop shouting about it. Apparently, technological progress is booming, and daily drudgery is being steadily replaced by automation. They claim the people are overjoyed, but why do we never hear a word from them? I cannot shake the feeling that the world is falling apart on all sides and the powerful care not in the slightest, while we must smile and pretend to be happy. Audacious. Do you realize that this passage by itself justifies a quite harsh sentence? That was just the first entry. Every page is rife with distressing theories and questions. Do you not agree that notions such as these pose a real threat to the world? I see. You do realize everything that happened is entirely due to your ignorance and arrogance. Everyone who trusted you, believed in you, and every event that led us to this point, you don't even grasp the magnitude of your responsibility, do you? Each one of these notes perfectly illustrates your insistence on meddling in matters which do not concern you. Let's read another one, shall we? Right here. Something weird is happening over there. I can feel it. Everyone's talking about folks going missing. And what of that deranged dwarf who's shouting about experiments? Even if a word of it is true, I shudder to think what's become of those people, of my people. Exploiting the common folks' superstition to undermine technological progress. What's next? Tales of impossible monsters and phenomena that challenge those laws of reality we worked so hard to establish. Utter nonsense. But however distasteful I find this, we must proceed. Here is some of the reasoning, if such a word even applies, behind your conclusions. Interesting. The human mind functions in curious ways. If a problem doesn't directly affect us, we tend to think ourselves immune. But as I see the Iron Plague continue to spread all around me, it feels like a noose tightening around my neck. Helen, my first love, died a few weeks ago. I don't know what to make of that. Her parents will not visit her grave. They're that afraid of getting infected. Uncle Victor hasn't spoken in over a week. His skin has turned to a flaky, oxidized crust, and his breathing is labored. I don't know how long he'll last. I hope for a miracle, but they seem increasingly rare these days. Even now, I can hear the metallic rattle of Aunt Hilda's joints. She keeps on smiling, even as the Iron Plague devours her without respite or mercy. All I can do is pray the disease doesn't take them all. If there's any chance to save them from this awful death, I'll take it, no matter the cost. They raised me, after all. I can't stand by and do nothing. Silence! Oh, what about this one? Right in the middle of the chaos you created. My journey has led to my meeting both magicians and technologists, and to question everything going on around me. Is it fair to mistreat someone just because they're different? Why couldn't we have found some resolution, some middle ground? If a different road had been taken, there wouldn't be any Iron Plague. Do you honestly think no one tried to prevent this bloodshed? The laws binding reality were our only hope to stop this cruel fate from destroying us all. How dare you challenge them? And now we come to the proof that you're the one who started all this, that the whole debacle is your fault. The odds are not good, I know, but it still bothers me that there's been no word from any of the emigrants to the New World. So I've decided to risk it. They're not asking much in return, after all. Only the unwoven filament. The task should be no challenge for someone like me. There it is, in your own words. You're nothing but a thief. Silence. These are your words. I smuggled the unwoven filament onto a ship heading for the New World to the Tatterhold seaport. There I will meet with Red Simon's contact.
The interminable voyage from the old world is finally over, and the relentless seasickness has at last slackened its grip. You inhale deeply and let the warm sea breeze fill your senses. The cries of gulls fill the air, alongside the chatter of folk on the bustling docks. Your heart quickens with anticipation as you take that first decisive step off the gangway. The new world awaits. But before you're free to embrace this new chapter in your life, there's the customs officer to deal with. A young man in an ill-fitting uniform presides, papers strewn before him on the wooden tabletop. With an air of long-practiced indifference, he begins to read from a crumpled form.
Good day to you, sir or madam. Let me be the first to welcome you to the New World, a place without poverty, hunger, or war. A place where everyone can achieve their dreams, etc., etc. You can become anyone you wish in the New World. A warrior, a magician, the president, Together we can make this the perfect home for everyone. A place where anything... Please, pass me your documents and join the line. An elf, then. Welcome to the new world. Here we know that elves are a wise and ancient race. Hopefully, you will become part of our modern society.
Please ignore anyone who treats you with prejudice.
And not all elves are antiquated warlocks, right? Please step forward for a customs check. You need to make sure you're not carrying anything illegal.
I'm not looking for anything specific. It's just that there's been a hell of a lot going on in town lately. A few weeks ago, this magical leprechaun showed up here, passing out free money. But the money turned out to be fake. Then it was some kind of magical oil. I could go on all day. The point is, if you're clean, you have nothing to fear.
Surface inspection indicates the new arrival is not a magical being, has no visible signs of corruption, and no evident symptoms of the Iron Plague. Nor do I observe any kind of smoke, magical glow, unusual light refraction, or other manifestations of illegal or unregistered magical artifact. Looks like we're done here. Head on through, and good luck in the new world. Don't break the law and don't join any magical terrorist organizations. Have a good day.
I have no idea who Mick Mortensen is, but the meeting point is over there.
You can ask around for him, I guess. Okay, take care. Feeling lucky, folks? Place your bets on Michael Mortensen. Odds are 5-1 against.
You're certain that fellow holding the Crimson Arrow sign just announced the very person you're supposed to meet on the docks?
Damn, that brawl was a real cracker. Up until your grand entrance, that is. My sniffer feels like a plate of mashed taters now, and I'm not loving it. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad you're here, but you could have chosen a less no-stumping moment, huh? It's not your fault, mate. Everything will be okay. Hey, worst case scenario, I'll buy myself a beer or 3. All right, it seems we got off to a bit of a rocky start. Let's wipe the slate clean. Mr. Now it's time I introduce myself. Name's Michael Mortensen, but mostly folks call me Mick Rosie. I work for Mr. Simon, managing his business affairs now and then. And you? Well met indeed. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. In the new world, everyone's got a debt hanging over their head. Me, for example, I have to get you to Mr. Simon. But there's a snag. I took a beating, and now I owe Ernie. Ernie's the bloke with the purse and the trusty notebook. Don't take this the wrong way, mate. Not holding a grudge or anything. But I got knocked out because of you. It's a bit of a tangled tale. But now it's you who's got a debt to settle with Ernie. We're not going anywhere until that's taken care of. You follow me? I catch your drift. Mr. Simon's running out of patience. I did manage to scrounge up a little cash. Let's call it a down payment. But the balance is on you, my friend. Best of luck. I have to admit that I'm a bit disappointed. I had a notion that we would be pals. Take a look at that checkpoint over there. You won't get through it without my help. Don't let me down completely, buddy. You're in the port, buddy. To make a few dollars, you can try your luck with some portside gamblers, indulge in a bit of pickpocketing, or maybe just rummage through a few bags, the usual routine. If you're feeling adventurous and want to reel in a bigger catch, have a chat with Ernie and consider stepping into the ring with Grotware the Crusher. But I'll be straight with you. He's a tough nut to crack. Splendid. We can go now. By the way, where's your suitcase? Mr. Simon said you would have one. Didn't you pick it up yet? No need to fret. Mr. Simon's got connections with the right folks. We've got a plan in the works. Right. Let's head over there. I'll follow you.
A police officer in a flashy tech outfit stands on the stoop, engaged in a quiet tete-a-tete with a man. The man delivers a parcel to the officer, who accepts it with a subtle nod before passing something back in return. Every few seconds, the cop checks his surroundings, suggesting that this is an illicit exchange.
Listen up, partner. I gotta sort a little something out with Jimmy. But I'll be back in 2 shakes, don't you worry. But ain't you the one smuggling dangerous contraband into the port? No worries, partner. It'll be brief. I had a feeling we were gonna get along. Hey, Jimmy,
The cop startles at Nick's exclamation, his countenance darkening as he looks up at the imposing giant. It's abundantly clear.
What do you want, Mortensen?
Jimmy, you owe me a little something. And since I'm in the neighborhood, I thought I'd cash in.
The policeman's face grows another shade darker as he forces a smile onto his face.
Yeah, I think we need to have a little one-on-one off the record.
The policeman nods pointedly in your direction.
Ha! My partner likes getting down to brass tacks. Knew we were on the same page, buddy.
Without ever taking his eyes off the policeman's, Nick wordlessly extends an open hand. Jimmy hesitates, but only briefly, his gaze snapping from the towering giant to you, then back again. Finally, he lets out a long, reluctant sigh and drops the mysterious package into Nick's massive palm.
Damn it, Mortensen. Here, take it, gag on it at best.
Nick grins with satisfaction.
And keep this between you and me, all right? Not a word to another living soul.
I understand. I'm not a kid in short pants, you know. Hold on a sec. There's something I've got to take care of.
Nick carefully unwraps the parcel to reveal a tiny heap of crystalline powder. It shimmers with different colors in the sun.
Orphan. I'd have never made it through the mines without it. I was popping every single day. The work was that brutal. Thankfully, one of them flying critters was a friend of mine.
Nick expertly snorts up a dose of orphan, and a blissful grin takes over his face.
Oh. Feel like giving it a shot? It'll toughen you up. You've got no idea what you're passing up, pal.
This dwarf is openly weeping, anguish etched on his face. As you draw closer, a noxious but familiar odor wafts over you, the acrid tang of rock gut, the cheapest of spirits. Totally plastered, the dwarf is wallowing in his mood.
Stop bothering me! Damn it! What do you want? Your bags? Nobody cared a fig about Finley McClatchy as long as everything was working. Nobody! Only when it all broke down did they start going, Finley, can you help me with my suitcase? Finley, can you find my purse? What do you want? Let me guess. Is it luggage? I just bet you want some fucking luggage. It's like this. Richard Maxwell Gracefield Parisi III arrived in town 2 days ago. He's a famous theater director. There's been a shutdown at the station, and Mr. Parisi was invited to entertain any new arrivals until it's sorted out. I wanted to be an actor my whole life! Woo! To be so adored that whenever people saw me, they would smile. You know what I mean? So this was the chance of a lifetime for me! But he just grabbed his suitcase and walked on by, didn't even glance in my direction. I'm so plain. I wasn't worth the least bit of his attention. Oh my God, I'm such a fool. I should have thought of that. How could I ever think poorly of Richard Maxwell Gracefield Parisi III? Oh, thank you so much.
You catch the sounds of a heated argument in the square, where a well-dressed dandy is shouting at a syndicate agent. Looks like things are about to get physical.
This is unthinkable! Absolutely not! I'm not going to do it! Your edits are a mockery of the performing arts.
Richard, it seems you misunderstood me.
Whoa, not so fast, fella. It's Richard Maxwell Gracefield Paracy III to you! That's Paracy with an E!
No, of course. But you're deeply mistaken if you think we're asking your opinion on this. The head of the Eastern Syndicate must see the correct version of this play, the one we know he will enjoy. We've already made all the necessary changes. We hired you to direct this performance, and you will do what we tell you to do. Period.
Oh, this is positively scandalous! You're making me dizzy. I think I'm going to faint.
That's the end of this conversation. I trust we understand each other now.
Oh, my vision is going blurry! And my legs, they're failing me! Oh, I'm going to pass out!
Richard Maxwell Gracefield Parazy III closes his eyes and dramatically flops to the ground. The Syndicate envoy bends over and discreetly places a folder full of papers in the director's hands. Then, after spitting disdainfully to one side, he departs, leaving the director to his feigned unconsciousness. As you watch, the director's right eye opens the merest crack, followed by the left, each lid rising cautiously. His gaze fixes upon you for a moment.
That imbecile is gone, right? The goddamn ass-licker. He's going to pay for trying to force his gibberish on me. A douchebag who's never even had a manicure. Can you believe it?
Richard Maxwell Gracefield Parazy III, in his characteristically nonchalant fashion, fans himself with a thick folder, yet his gaze remains locked on Nick.
Ah, Mickey, a radiant Rosie. And who's this you've got tagging along? I'm running a smidge low on those little pick-me-ups, like. But give me 2 sunrises and we'll be flying high again!
Richard, can't you ever keep your trap shut? That's got nothing to do with our business right now. Got it?
I see. What do you want then? Assistant? I thought the world was going to end before you finally showed up. Where the heck have you been? No, don't answer that. I don't care. The whole place is going to hell. The local branch of the Syndicate wants to make changes to my script to please their big boss, the head of the Eastern Syndicate. My script of my play. They want to murder my entire artistic aesthetic with their propaganda. Moreover, there's no way the actors can learn new lines in such a short time. Especially these actors. Have you seen them around, by the way?
Richard Maxwell Gracefield Parazy III wrings his hands nervously. But when his gaze returns to you, his eyes come to a sharp focus.
Why are you still standing here? Why aren't you racing around solving my problems and carrying out my orders? Can't you see? They're all drunkards! I will never, I repeat, never work with a provincial troop ever again. It's almost showtime, but I don't see them getting ready backstage. They're probably wandering around someplace in a daze. Find them. Here's a list with all their names. Yes, of course. We don't have a budget for extra expenses, but I'll give you something out of my own pocket.
That's
Damn it.
great.
Bring him here. Fantastic! Now move, move, move! We're running out of time. you're back! Have you What took you so long? There's only minutes left until the show. There wasn't any time for them to study the Syndicate's nightmare script. This is going to be a disaster. Listen, you're my last hope. I need you to work as our prompter. I'm sure you can distinguish between my
Well, this is...
Did you say something? Go to the prompter's booth and... Hey, hello there, fiery gentlemen and divine ladies. Welcome to the exclusive, incredible, and ultra-modern New World. I hope your trip here was as magical as my new hairstyle. Yes, I heard about those few small bumps you faced along the way, but that's all in the past. It's time to move forward into the future. Now, hold on tight, my friends, because the real star is about to appear. The boss of the gigantic Eastern Syndicate, the incomparable Wayne Zindo! Take the microphone, Director Zindo, please.
Welcome, newcomers, to our land. A land that lives and breathes freedom. At this point, I would normally be handing you a glass of wine while we all relax and have a nice chat, but today's circumstances call for a little improvisation. As you may have guessed, we've had a small problem with transportation. The train to New Ark has been delayed, but don't worry. Letta Jean and her team are already addressing this unpleasant issue. And when our system-wide automation is complete, such inconveniences will be nothing but a memory. You'll reach New Ark eventually, and I guarantee it will be all the more thrilling for the wait. In the interim, the Syndicate has prepared a special gift for you. A drama arranged by New Ark's acclaimed stage director, Richard Maxwell Gracefield Parisi III. Mr. Gracefield Parisi and his troupe will put on a performance of The Broken Heart of the Enchanted Beast. I hope you enjoy it as much as I know I will.
You've got the play's script in hand, though not a single line has managed to evade the conspicuous scrawl of a red pen. Zindo's underlings have revised the entire text, transforming the director's vision into an extended series of advertisements. Worse, the actors haven't had time to commit these revisions to memory. Now you must step into the spotlight and guide everyone through the tsunami of altered text. But first, you must decide whether to stick to the original script or navigate the Syndicate's adaptation.
Today, you will witness a love story unfold and a vicious trap sprung, all in a sea of blood. Let this be a warning for any who dare bridge the gap between technology and magic.
Nerio, dear Nerio, this love's a snare, for magic and technology clash and flare. They're realms apart, they shan't entwine. Yet, Mr. Zindo's new possibilities now may shine.
My sweetest violet, defy this decree. Magic smites thy worlds not to me.
Oh, Nerio, the Weaver's darkest blight, their reckless magic turned day to night. We must respect the laws and ne'er sway.
Herald, mark my words, thou shalt see. Great power from the rifts mine shall be. Weaver's gifts, I'll claim them all. My might and magic, they shall enthrall.
Nerio, beware! This path is fraught with peril and darkness! Heed the thought! In the realm of creation, automatons make their stance, and with a fair maiden's favor, best your magical pants.
My dear Gerald, thy fears I will ignore. I crave this magic and I must have more. And Violet, my heart's desire, her love and power shall all come.
Violet! Fair Violet! I know her well. Her heart is in science, not some spell. To woo her with magic would be a ruse, and such dark intentions she must refuse. Young hearts entangled in this perilous strife, a clash of realms portends doom in life. Their destinies entwined in dark dismay, a balance lost, heart...
Nerio, dear Nerio, we must now part ways. Zindo's automatons hold more wisdom in store than any mage.
No, Violet! You can't break free, it's clear. My soul is bound to dark magic. My dear.
Oh, Nerio! Your transformation's too extreme. An abhorred mage, a nightmarish gleam. We can't bridge the gap betwixt realms so vast.
Beware of magic, upright and fair. It tempts and beguiles, but can't truly care. Love or friendship with a mage are bare. In the blink of an eye, mage turns nightmare.
This is a disaster! A complete failure!
Eddie, you heard anything about a circus rolling into town?
Nah, haven't caught wind of it. Damn, just look at that guy. Is that a face or what? Just like my mother-in-law when me and Lizzie were marrying, right?
The policemen start laughing, apparently blocking the way for the strange crowd led by the dwarf. Everyone but him appears utterly devoid of comprehension. In a bizarre reaction to the jest, the dwarf begins gesticulating with an air of near hysteria.
Let us in! Let us in! I must speak to Director Zindo immediately. People vanishing, poof, without a trace. Leslie, it's a nightmare. What seemed like a great mind is but a...
However, the underlying principles of any technology must be constant, aren't they? Thus, you can analyze what you see in a way you would dissect upon one individual's back. Assuming they still qualify as such, you observe what appears to be a generator. Their skin's top layer resembles that of corpses, decomposed soft tissue, and unnatural. The dwarf begins to almost drown.
There's no time for that. No time at all. They clothe everyone. Director Zindo, his assistant. They're dabbling in horrors, twisting ordinary folk into monsters. They must be exposed. What the horror?
Abruptly, a growl rumbles from the throng. Horror grips. Gradually it spreads, enveloping the entire crowd.
No, no, no!
Without warning, the creature flings the dwarf aside, his head meeting the ground with a resounding thud.
Oh, fuck!